Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Sport. It's the watch along for Chelsea versus Manchester United, a big crunch clash in the Premier League, and we're going to be delivering the action to you today. I am joined by Seb True and SD. I've got it wrong, haven't I? It's Darren. We've got Darren on here. He did tell me how to introduce him. He did tell me how to introduce him onto the show, but I've absolutely watch along for Chelsea. Sorry, Darren, mate.
No, it's fine. I mean, thanks.
Hughes, wasn't it?
I just know that words are hard for you, and that's absolutely fine. That's fine.
It is difficult, being dyslexic. It's going to be an interesting game, guys. What do you reckon today? As the teams are walking out onto the pitch, you've got United coming out from one corner and Chelsea coming out for the tunnel because of the COVID regulations. It's a fixture that promises a lot, Darren.
Yeah, it does, and I think it's a really important one as well. Obviously, I'm a United fan. If you did not know, and I'm actually a little bit concerned with this. Chelsea have got the bounce back of having Tuchel in charge, and I think that'll have an effect today. But United and our away from home form has been absolutely bang average, so that also concerns me. I think we will win, but I think that might be hope.
Bang average. When was the last time they lost at home?
Oh yeah, a while. But
they haven't lost a season away from home.
Yeah. But I've mentioned this on Let's Talk Sport before. If you play 38 games and you draw every game, you've not lost, but you're in a relegation fight. If we're fighting, to be that second or challenge City for first, we really need to turn those draws to wins. And the wins that we have had, most of them have not been convincing. They've been, 2-1 where we go down first. Our defence in the first few minutes are worrying. And unfortunately, we've gone for the same old Maguire and Lindelof. So it'll be interesting.
The point you just made about drawing all 38 games and getting relegated, that's a fun thing to think about, being invincible yet going down.
Yeah.
That'd be an amazing thing to see. I'd love to see, drawing every single game 38 points, but they just get relegated. That'd be the best thing ever.
Better if it was Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool next season, eh? Come on.
No. We'll be back next season. Back next season.
You know what? I 100% agree with you.
I've actually made a big error on our stream. I've put the Manchester United lineup right next to the Chelsea badge, and the Chelsea lineup right next to the Manchester United one. Now that's a great one to do. I'm just gonna rectify that because I feel bad. That was hilarious, and luckily I noticed soon enough.
I'm just gonna quickly run through the lineups for you as well, whilst Seb corrects the lineups at the bottom of the screen.
They're done. They're in the description. They're everywhere. But you can go for it. You can go for it.
Chelsea got Mendy in goal. You got back three of Azpilicueta, Christensen, Rudiger. You got Hudson-Odoi, Kante, Kovacic, and Chillwell in midfield. And then you got a front three of Ziyech, or Ziyech, as they say it's nice to be pronounced now. Giroud and Mount up front. Obviously, the bench they've got Azpilicueta. I'm just going to go with Kepa because you're saying that all the time. It's just...
I love saying his name, Azpilicueta. Once you get it, you just think it's one of those things you can't stop saying. It's like when you learn a sophisticated word and you just can't stop using it. And then sometimes it's a bit wrong in the sentence. I just keep saying it.
Seb, come on. Joe, a sophisticated word means something that might be...
you going for the kill before the first whistle.
And smarter than I look, let's put it that way. They've got Zuma, Alonso, James, Emerson, Jorginho, Pulisic, Havertz and Werner. So the Germans have been dropped, the big signings from the summer. And then Manchester United, you've got David De Gea in goal. You've got... whilst waiting for the line to actually appear on the TV.
But it's in our description, Joe. You can just look into
Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay, Fred, Greenwood, Fernandes, James and Rashford. So they've gone for pace on the flanks with Greenwood and James. Bench, you've got Henderson, Bailly, Twanzebe, Tejas, Williams, Matic, Van Den Beek, Diallo and Martial.
Is it a bit harsh to say they've gone for pace purely because they put Rashford and Greenwood on? It's like...
And James.
It's reduced... Oh, well, yeah. Well, James, we know why. But it's like reducing those two just to one sole quality, which is their pace. I think that's a bit harsh, but...
Well, I think...
we're underway.
we've set up exactly how we thought we would, which is a rubbish defence. Then we've got McTominay. Well, I say rubbish centre-back pairing. Then Fred and McTominay will play that holding, which I actually really like. And then just try and hit them on the break. Fine.
Something that's promising. Oh, sorry, Seb, go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to mention, I mean, Chelsea aren't going to give away chances easily. It's not like they're going to play a high line with that three at the back, unless Tuchel becomes ambitious, which I doubt. I don't know. I'm not really expecting much from this game. I'd expect a very, very boring 0-0. Keep watching, guys. I expect a boring 0-0.
What? I can sign up for a boring... You know what?
Oh, we've lost him. I like it. I actually like the little graphic. I put you in the middle purposely, Darren, and that just worked brilliantly.
Thanks.
Yeah, what I was going to say is promising thing for Manchester United is that they say before the games come to air that the United haven't lost to Chelsea since Solskjaer's taken over, and Solskjaer has a fantastic record against Thomas Tuchel, so that points in Manchester United's direction. What I'm going to quickly ask you guys is a prediction for the scoreline, and then we can get it dropped in the comments below before this game has any goals or anything.
0-0. I'm putting 0-0 on it.
4-0.
4-0 to United.
Oh, is it going to be like that first game for Lampard where Chelsea dominated and somehow United won 4-0?
Absolutely. And do you know who was a key player in that game?
Tammy Abraham.
Daniel James. And he's coming back to form. 4-0.
Because that game I thought, oh yeah, Tammy Abraham, he really can't make it at the top level. And it was probably a bit rash to judge that quickly. But then he proved me wrong a few weeks later. And then how many years on now? A year and a half on now? I think the same thing. He's not good enough for Chelsea.
I personally think it's going to be a draw. I'm going to go for 2-2 myself as a prediction for this game.
We've already got some questions in or comments. Firstly, Connor Porter saying 2-1 Chelsea. Okay, I don't.
Connor, get out! Get out, Connor.
I mean, can a Tuchel side really score 2 except if it's against Burnley? Well, remains to be seen.
Against our back two, yes.
Okay, so since he's arrived, they've scored 2 against Burnley, Newcastle, and Sheffield United. So then to do it against United, okay, ambitious, but why not? Then Jamie saying would have liked Bailly to have started, but on paper United should win this. Should they? Should they win this really? I mean, what reason should United win this? And then I think this is a friend of yours, Joe, Adam McNally, saying the quad next season for us, Joe. I don't know if it's a question or a general statement. And Mavendra Sin put Chillwell, not Alonso. Well, at least for once Chilwell is getting game time because he has played just that one game against Sheffield United since Tuchel's arrived. And he didn't even play the whole 90 minutes, so at least he's finally getting on the pitch. Oh, wait, no, he played against Wolves. And I remember him getting subbed off, and he looked confused as to why he got subbed off. But yeah, Chilwell is on in place of Alonso. You've got to remember that Chelsea had the Champions League game as well, so there's going to be some rotation.
The quadruple, I'd love that, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see what signings are made in the summer.
Oh, is that what he meant? I thought the quad was some sort of slang for maybe the Europa League or something. I don't know. Now you say quadruple, it comes to me straight away, and I can't believe I missed that one.
So I'm watching this on sponsorship here now TV, and I think I'm a little bit behind. How long has gone?
3 minutes. 0 for me.
So I'm on 2 minutes 20. So we've just got a corner, and I think this is what my concern is set pieces like this. Is we don't have the fastest centre back pairing, and I think Baye coming into that would have helped. But Maguire always seems to hold a really low. You know, he's always too deep when there's a set piece, and against Chelsea, against anyone, it is a little bit worrying.
It's what I find worrying about Maguire is his lack of awareness. So I think it goes against Tottenham where he basically pulled down everyone so that Tottenham could score. And there are things like that I don't get what Maguire's doing. He's tall, but yet I seem to think now that his heading has got a lot worse. He used to be decent at headers at the World Cup for England. It was aim for Maguire, he'll get it in. Now I think, can he head a ball properly? I don't know.
That's why we bought him, I think, an £80 million header.
Maybe when he got his head smacked in Greece, it changed the form of his head and he can't head it properly now.
No, he was terrible last season too.
He was better at heading though. He was better at aerial duels and heading last season. I'm pretty sure of that. This season it seems to be just appalling. Even that goal was it against Newcastle where he heads it away into danger. Then Sir Maximum's just like, okay, thank you very much. a goal it'll be.
Cheers, La. That's what he said.
I can imagine so. For that great
to the
night in
viewers that are
Newcastle.
watching, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe below. We're on going into the thing today. We were on 300 and what was it? 386,
and we've got one more since.
387. So we're going to try and get to 400 by the end of lockdown. Hopefully by the end of today, if possible, as well. So if you haven't already, please drop us a subscription below. And we've got more content coming.
Drop a subscription, and then someone just drops the Wall Street Journal subscription into our comments and just.
So don't forget to subscribe to the channel because we've got more content coming in the coming days.
Have we? What have we promised in the next coming days?
I think we've got Dortmund on Tuesday night, I believe.
Are you sure? The cup against Mönchengladbach.
Yes, what I would do, I'll find our little rota thing and I'll say what we've got coming in the next coming days.
Yes, it's a Tuesday night against Mönchengladbach in the DFB Pokal. That was a terrible German accent, but I mean,
it felt like I was there. But it was fantastic. Well done.
Yes,
and we've got Roma versus Milan tonight.
Yep. Well, I was. Have we got Roma versus Milan tonight? Who's doing that?
I don't know. It's on the calendar.
I think it forgot to be changed because I was going to plan on doing Marseille Lyon. Try some French.
It says here Lyon Marseille possibly instead.
So I did kind of put something in, but not very clear, as I usually am never very clear.
And on Thursday we've got Liverpool versus Chelsea in the Premier League.
Oh, the Premier League's on this week. There's too much football. I can't follow.
There's too much football.
I swear to God, I watch a lot of football, but this is starting to become overload.
Well, I think what you need to do is do what I do. So you think that this might be a boring match. So snacks, mate. Always bring snacks.
You promised you'd bring it in on the stream.
Always
he brought it
snacks.
in on the stream.
But I'll try my best to mute the mic whenever I am.
We'll warn you. Or the host of this stream. Oh wait, no, is not available to mute you.
Part timer.
Part timer.
If I do,
Jamie.
if I do mute myself.
Oh, he's muted. Oh wow, Ziyech just badly controlled that in front of the box.
Let's all prank him and say there's a goal. Oh wait, he can hear us.
He can watch too.
I can still hear you, yeah. But I'm about 40 seconds behind, so I probably still believe you.
Well, I think Joe's ahead. I think Joe's ahead of me, though, isn't he?
8 minutes gone on mine.
Oh my word!
Oh my. Okay, so I'm well behind.
Okay, Connor's got in touch saying, question for Darren: Dean
Hello.
Henderson or David De Gea to start in goal for next season?
See, so this is so up until this point, this season, I have been Team De Gea purely because he's been such a good servant for us in the past. If this chat was at the end of last season, 100%, I'd be Henderson. But at the moment, I'd have to say Henderson. Let's give him a run of games this season and let's see how things go. There's been reports that we've been trying to sort of try and see if there's interest in De Gea to sell him next season. I don't think that we will. In a post-COVID world, I don't think that the money will be there. But yeah, so let's give Dean a go.
Who can possibly get De Gea, especially with his salary? Who can pay that fee? Who can pay his salary? What is realistic for De Gea now?
PSG.
Would it? Because Areola is very well liked over there, so I'm not sure they'd get rid of him
He's
quickly.
at Fulham, though, isn't he?
He's what?
He's at Fulham, isn't he?
No, so not Areola. I'm getting that wrong. Jesus Navas.
Oh, yeah.
Navas? Jesus? Is it Jesus?
Kayla.
Kayla. I was thinking Jesus sounded wrong.
Sounds like a song then.
No, but Kayla Navas is really well liked over there, so I'm not sure they'd move on from him quickly.
Well,
Would they?
I think it's the same debate about Paul Pogba. Even if Pogba wants to leave, and if he wants to leave, fine, great. I mean, his contract isn't up quite yet. Who is going to pay the money and then pay him the salary that he wants in a post-COVID world?
Yeah.
And no one's got money. So I can honestly see him staying, putting in a few good performances, like he has been before he got injured, and taking a big payday.
Do you know what my guess might be? There's a rumour that a certain Milan club might have to get rid of their goalkeeper called Donnarumma because of contract talks.
Ooh.
Big oof. Big oof. They might be willing to get more experience into that young side.
But where would he go to?
Oh, Donnarumma. Yeah. Obviously, the problem with goalkeepers is it creates a massive merry-go-round because obviously they want to be first choice, and there's only one spot for them. I don't know, but there is strong rumours that Donnarumma wants to leave because of maybe what other reasons? Because he wants a change of scenery. I don't know.
And I assume money, right?
He gets paid quite a fair amount at AC Milan, and no one's gonna give him a higher contract. I think it's Raiola trying to get money from his client. I don't know. I really don't. We mentioned with a stream with Inter Milan and AC Milan the other week. I said maybe Inter might be the club that gets Donnarumma, which is quite a controversial shout.
So I think this is the thing too, is there was debate about him a few years ago when he told the club that he wanted to go, and they had banners up to say that he was dead to them and all that. And then he signed a new contract because he wanted a big pay rise. Ramos was linked to us a few seasons ago when his contract was up for renewal and he wanted a new contract, and he did that, and he's been linked with us again, and I think he's just signed or about to sign a new contract off the back of that. So maybe he thinks that he needs more money to stay. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a hard one. I don't know, especially with the COVID crisis. Who knows?
It's a free kick here for United, about 25 yards from goal. Didn't quite see what happened there, but it was Mount and McTominay who collided. Just going to see the replay here. Ball goes up and I don't know. It was McTominay wins the ball and him and Mount collide into one another. They're giving the free kick, the referee, to United.
I don't know. It looks like in this game that United might be able to carve out a few chances and might take one, whereas Chelsea look like they still want to dominate possession. Well, nothing new under Thomas Tuchel.
Just to go back to the United goalkeeper thing, I read a thing in the week, an article that said that Tottenham and Dortmund could be interested in Dean Henderson, and then I saw some United fans on Twitter saying that if they did get rid of Henderson to Dortmund, would that allow them to get the price dropped for Sancho potentially or Haaland? But I don't know.
I think there are too many factors in that sort of deal, and Dortmund aren't exactly the easiest to negotiate with. So I don't think it's going to be as if, okay, we give you Henderson, drop your price for Sancho. Nah, you either include Dean Henderson in the deal, but we're not lowering our price just because you did a good favour by giving us a goalkeeper.
United would actually involve him in any deal. He's a young English keeper, and he's good. He's too good to be sitting on the bench. But how old is De Gea? You know, he's
30 this year, is he not? Or is he just?
He was older than that.
I thought he was 91. I thought he was born in 91. That's the thing.
I'll have a Google for you. Other search engines are available.
Yeah, but none as good though, right?
He turned 30 in November.
Oh, really? So he's
not too old.
I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. He's still got time if, for instance, he should go to Milan.
He should be coming into his prime then now. So last season, I don't know what that was about. Well, I do. It's because we got rid of his goalkeeper coach left.
Mendy's just made a mess of that shot. I mean, he could have made that so much easier for himself.
From the Rashford free kick.
Yeah. He didn't really deal with it well.
Well, thanks. At least now I know that doesn't go in because he's about to take the Rashford free.
Didn't go in there. Didn't go in.
All right, okay.
Ziyech had a poor shot from range down the other end.
I struggle with Ziyech. I really struggle with Ziyech. Sometimes he can have magical performances and sometimes he could just go missing.
Ooh, checking for a penalty after the free kick.
For who?
For United. It looks like a handball on Hudson-Odoi, right?
Yeah, I thought it hit Greenwood's arm, but it doesn't hit Greenwood's arm. It hits Hudson-Odoi's hand. This could be given, you know.
It might be, especially if you give the Ndidi penalty today. Well, they're not the same at all, but still, the handball rule. I think you've got to go to the idea that no, it looks like Greenwood touches it. I'm sorry, that's Greenwood who touches it first. Oh no, you're right, Joe. Hudson-Odoi touched it with his hand, then Greenwood touched it with his arm.
Yeah.
It touches his hand, not even his arm. That could be given.
He hasn't given it.
He hasn't given it? Oh, then I don't have to change the.
He hasn't given it.
Then I don't have to change the scoreline yet.
Wow, I'm surprised. Surprised.
Adam McNally saying can see a red card in this game. Who are you thinking, Adam? I don't know. I feel like Azpilicueta is due a red card soon.
I thought one of the chances is going to get booked.
That is
normally
a penalty.
when the referee goes to the monitor, you're not supposed to go near the monitor.
The players aren't supposed to see it.
Yeah, Azpilicueta and Hudson-Odoi were both stood within so many yards of the referee.
But that isn't technically a bookable offence, is it? They say you're not allowed, but they don't say it's a bookable offence, so I reckon players should get booked for that.
Yeah, Suarez did in the Champions League, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But that's obviously Europe compared to the Premier League. We like to do things differently.
Wait. Why is Hudson-Odoi contesting? Is it been given as a penalty? Oh, no handball. Then why is he still going on? I never get that, why players continue to be outraged when the decision's gone in their favour.
Tuchel and Solskjaer rowing on the touchline.
That'd be an interesting battle. I reckon they both pretend to be nice, but they're both very nasty.
Probably are.
Tuchel, definitely.
Yeah.
Without doubt.
He got that sense about him.
Well, why have all his jobs ended in calamity with the owners?
True. It didn't end well for him at Dortmund either.
No, it didn't. No, they won't have him back there. Still think, even though it should be a penalty for United, technically, why isn't Mendy catching that properly?
Yeah.
And people have gone on about Mendy, and I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced. Low percentage of saves, not actually made a lot of saves. He has had a few errors. He doesn't look comfortable on the ball.
How does he compare stat-wise with Kepa, though?
Kepa is one of the worst that the Premier League has seen for a while. But after lockdown, he had almost exactly the same number of saves, percentage-wise, as Alisson Becker. So this Alisson Becker form, it isn't all of a sudden. We could have seen it coming. So Alisson almost, but after lockdown until the end of last season, had lower than Kepa, actually, lower than 50% save rate, which is worrying. So this form that Alisson's been experiencing, it's probably been over a longer period span than people have made out.
Well, I think the difference with Alisson is as well, and this pains me to do this. Joe, I'm gonna back Liverpool up a little bit now, right? Just a tiny amount. Is when Klopp took over, you guys had serious issues with the keeper and in defence, and then he sorted that out. But with the amount of injuries you've got now, obviously Alisson has been protected with the best defence last season, and now he's being exposed a bit more. And next season, if you keep him and you don't sack him, I think you'll be right back up there.
Yeah, we won't sack Klopp. There's no chance of a sack Klopp. Or do you mean like get rid of Alisson? No,
I think some fans, and they're probably United fans pretending to be Liverpool fans, have started the Klopp out, and I think it's foolish and short-sighted with the fact that you don't have a defence. You don't have a recognised defence like you had last season.
It's a great pun to Klopp out.
I do think with some of the errors as well from Alisson, I think it's the fact that there's been a lack of trust in the back four in front of him, if that makes sense. Obviously, the only two constants have been the right back and the left back, which is Trent and Robbo. The centre backs, because we lost Virgil, then we lost Gomez. What was it? I read the other day we've had 18 different centre back partnerships this season. That's not.
For me,
good.
that's a problem. That's a problem, yeah. And even there are problems with injuries, but I don't think Klopp's helped himself. To be fair, I think they could have gone through a spat no matter what, even if Klopp got things right. But I think Klopp has also got things wrong. It's kind of worse than the situation you mentioned. And yeah, fine, they've got the injuries, and that can happen. That's not exactly his fault. But he has to keep things constant in that back line. I mean, how is Alisson going to survive with different pairings of him every week?
Yeah. There was an article I read this morning that said he did consider playing one of the fullbacks at centre back at one point. I was thinking, well, the only way that would work really is if you went to a back three.
Yeah. I mean, Shaw played the left of a back three for us last season.
I was impressed with him in that position.
Yeah.
I've mentioned this multiple times on our streams that he played against Liverpool in that position once, and I thought he was really good.
Yeah, same. But now that he's playing, as a left fullback, left back, he's been great this season.
I think that's the new wave of the back three, where you've got to have one who's a fullback. Look at the way West Ham do it with Cresswell in there. Look at the way Chelsea are doing it with Azpilicueta. He's technically a fullback. I think a back three that has to work in the modern game, one has to be a fullback that does bring more to the game. Otherwise, you're just lacking in creativity. Even for England in the World Cup, there was Kyle Walker who played in that back three next to Maguire and Stones. Two recognised centre-backs, but you've still got that fullback and you can shift around the position in an attacking sense, and then defensively you tighten up two of the three at the back, the two other fullbacks come in, and it works quite well. Not very clear-cut chances yet in this game so far.
Hudson-Odoi's just had a makeshift volley go wide at the post, but was never really good at trouble. David De Gea in there.
What do we think about Hudson-Odoi getting subbed off after he was subbed on last week?
I didn't watch the Southampton game because I didn't watch it, but obviously saw the highlights. What was a bit of a bizarre one. It's akin to Moise Keane at Everton a couple of years ago. Duncan Ferguson, was it last year? Duncan Ferguson was the caretaker, wasn't it?
He did it with two different strikers. He did it with Moise Keane, and he also did it with Tosun as well.
Oh, yes, he did.
So he did it twice in his short reign as manager.
It's interesting though, because the Moise Keane one is always talked about. I don't know whether it's because of the magnitude of the game it was in and the fact that he stormed off to the dressing room.
Or now that he's gone, even if it is on loan.
Yeah, he scored again the other day for PSG. It's a bit of a bizarre one.
He's doing well.
Might be because of with all due respect to Liga and the easiness of the league.
But Paris still aren't first.
Is it still Lille at top?
It's still Lille, and they're playing against Strasbourg now, and I actually tried getting the game up, and I completely forgot to do so. But yeah, he's found his feet in Ligue 1. I still think he's physical.
You want a crisp?
Yeah, just get one. Thank you.
Welcome.
Good old Doritos.
But yeah, I actually thought it was strange because Hudson-Odoi seems to be the one benefiting the most from the Tuchel regime. Then I thought to myself, maybe he's just trying to impose his authority with someone he's definitely got on his good side. Because Hudson-Odoi must be loving playing for Tuchel, playing so much. I don't know whether he likes the right wing-back position. I can't tell. So the fact that Thomas Tuchel took him off out of all the players, I thought was the strangest. So I think he's just trying to show a message with someone that he's still got on his side. That's what I thought initially. And I've heard people repeat it, and I thought, okay, that makes sense. He was just trying to send a message to the whole team with someone that he knew he couldn't get on the bad side of.
Didn't he come out and explain his reasoning, though?
Yeah, but it still wasn't that logical. Hudson-Odoi was applying the pressure as usually asked. Werner was doing less.
But didn't he say it's because he didn't give us enough?
Yeah, he did say that, but then he gave a lot more than Werner did in that period of time, and Werner stayed on for the 90 minutes. It just didn't make sense to me because Hudson-Odoi wasn't walking about. Far from it. So I thought he was just doing it to send a message.
I mean, a lot of managers do that. I still remember when Jose was with us and argued with the big players, but with Shaw, he came out and said he's got the body, but he's not got the footballing brain. And look at him now. So
I still struggle with Luke Shaw because he's 6'2", and he's not. How is he 6'2"?
He's not 6'2", is he?
He's 6'2". I know. It's hard to believe. He is 6'2".
He looks tiny.
I know, that's the problem. He looks tiny. He's taller than Cavani.
It's mad.
It doesn't make sense. I was freaked out by that.
I'm quite surprised that you used the 6'2" after.
Yeah. I had to adapt. It speaks a lot more, the 6'2". The echelons are bigger, so when you jump one, it seems bigger automatically than going up 1 centimeter.
1.85 meters. 6'1", it says on Wiki.
Oh wow,
that is surprising though. I'm really.
Are they rounding up or just rounding to the nearest? Because two different methods.
If we round up with me, I'm 7 foot.
But you're rounding up to the nearest foot. Or the nearest...
No. I'm rounding up to whatever the hell I want to round up to, thanks.
That's a great rule. That's honestly
Absolutely.
a great rule. You're rounding up to the nearest divisible 7.
Yeah, I'm 5'9", but hey, on Wiki, I'm the tallest man in the world.
Yeah, but how long will that stay up?
Well...
How long will your Wikipedia page stay up firstly?
I need one first, I think.
That can be arranged. I wondered because Wikipedia bases itself on different sources. If you find a source, the Wikipedia page stays up. So if you create an infinite amount of looped Wikipedia pages that refer to each other, then you can keep a Wikipedia page up, surely.
How many people are watching this right now?
It's never accurate.
I'm just saying, if you were bored and you don't have Doritos, if you want to make a stammering, dyslexic Darren Hughes wiki page, be kind. I was born 30th of the 10th, 1987. I'm 7 foot.
I believe the 87 one because it wasn't very hyperbolic.
Well, no, that was correct.
I guessed so. That's why.
And I believe that this is an inch. So
I like the way Solskjaer just made a reference like that with his 3 fingers, almost as if he's just discovered after 26 minutes they're playing 3 at the back.
Or he's
That's
heard
about his technical awareness.
Or he's heard our conversation and he's trying to tell you that Luke Shaw is 6'3".
He's probably got his headphones on and he's listening to our watch along as we speak.
Absolutely.
If you are, Ollie, give us a little sub.
I'm 5'7.5".
Even if you're a fake Ollie Gunnar Solskjaer account, just give us a sub. We need this. We need this now.
Type, making a fake Ollie.
I've just got up to the 3 fingers, but it looks more like a 4 or 5. So
it's a United thing. So the next one we'll do 4 because Jose when he was there he was like, oh no, wait, no, it's a 3 thing.
It was 3.
It was 3. Yeah.
3.
Respect.
My top 2 Mourinho moments were when he smashed the water bottle holder.
Mm-hmm.
And when he did his free rant, that was so funny. Those were my top Mourinho moments at United.
Have we noticed that Christensen's acting as the sweeper-style defender, which I'm pretty worried about for Chelsea? I mean,
he's no Seb True.
I love sweeping up. Can't do anything else.
I'm still trying not to laugh at that story you told us the other week about that player that you pinched.
Oh yeah. I don't know whether Darren's heard of this story about.
Pray tell.
So I was playing against a team. Guy was probably about 6'3", a lot taller than me. Actually, probably bigger than 6'3", or 7 foot. And they kept putting long balls to him, and I'm 5'8", so I'm never not got a chance. I can jump high, but never get into his height. Anyway, I could tell he was getting wound up easily, so I decided that I'd pinch him on the backside. Following that, he got very angry, elbowed me in the face, but not very discreetly, got sent off, and the worst part is, for him, his coach was asking, why did you hit him? And he was so... he must have been ashamed. He was saying, that fucking gay boy over there was annoying me. I was like, you could have just told him that I pinched your bum. I mean, is there a shame in him knowing? If anything, it's more shameful for me. And
the only shame in pinching someone's bum is if the other person doesn't want you to. But I pinch as many bums, male or female, that I can. Put that on my Wikipedia. No, don't.
Anyone with any formal complaints, we do not accept them in the comments. But there are services for that.
Yeah, against you.
I mean,
harassing.
You stated that you do this often.
As long as I am aware that they want me to, but please don't put that on my wiki page.
I know there was a guy that I played with as well, quite tall, very good at heading the ball. What he did is he always started checking players out while they're marking him in the 16-yard box, and they instantly got further away. He was in space and headed it in.
Fair play.
This is the kind of thing we got to cut out in football. Homophobia.
Absolutely.
Homophobia. Because if you're too scared to be around that shouldn't be acceptable. No. We should accept it. You shouldn't be scared of marking someone because of their different, how to say it, what they
So
prefer.
when I agreed to do this watch long, I didn't know that I would be involved in some really sketchy political rants.
Yeah, that's the sketchiest we've got so far. This is really the sketchiest we've got. We're going to go back to the game.
It's not as bad as Jamie said Prince Harry comment that time.
We're not going into that. We're not going into that.
No, we're not going there. But
I'm muting everyone if that happens.
That takes the biscuit.
I'm muting everyone if that happens.
Just have to ask him separately, eh?
Yeah, we're not going to bring it up because we're not getting into the politics of the royal family and who is Prince Harry's real father.
Don't even then, Joe. You're just as bad saying that.
It's Darth Vader, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously.
I still can't believe it.
I am your father.
So what do we think of the game so far? I've actually not paid too much attention, which is pretty bad.
I am 29 minutes and 30 seconds in. It seems quite balanced. They've got behind us a few times, but not really threatened us. And same, I mean, Shaw's he's in behind, but not doing much with it.
Have you really
seen... De Gea has just made an error there. He's got the ball back to him, and instead of passing it to United players, just passed it to Giroud. He was taking one touch and then lashed at it, and he's found Rover's head instead of actually finding the top corner.
Well, if you're Dean Henderson, you might have got a half assist. You know, that one that he booted long.
So he had time then. He could have taken more time on the ball. Maybe took a touch and brought it forward before taking the shot, but he's just rushed and he's lashed at it and it's miles over the bar. You'll probably see it shortly. But
yeah, I've just seen it. I mean, it was a Giroud shot. You know, Giroud, you never know what you're going to get with Giroud. I used to think
when I'm there.
I used to think that Chillwell could work perfectly in a 5 midfield or a back three, if you see what I mean. You know, playing that wing back role. And when you see a game like this, he's lost. For me, it seems position-wise, he's just lost, which is pretty worrying. Because Thomas Tuchel seems adamant to continue with this back three. So does Chilwell have his space there? I think he might prefer Alonso.
I thought he'd be a big miss for Leicester City, but they don't seem to have missed him at all.
Yeah, go on. Sorry, Dan.
Sorry, it's got nothing about what you guys are saying because I stopped listening. I was waiting for the Giroud thing, which has just happened. But Giroud was getting pressure from Fred at the time. His first touch took it away, and then Fred was coming in. And plus, good. Glad it went over.
Are you saying that Fred is underrated?
I'm saying that Fred has performed a hell of a lot better of late.
I struggle with Fred. I think everyone mentions that McTominay Fred is almost a must. But I think they're both just a bit too bad for a top four club, but both of them together works really well. It makes a really good player. So, and then they lack and because Bruno Fernandes compensates offensively, then it's fine. It's fine.
So I really rate McTominay when he's not in the team. We do seem to get overrun in midfield more. Fred, I think, is tenacious and he has improved. However, although his first touch has improved, when it's still the weakest part of his game, and it makes me nervous, especially when he's put under pressure.
I think his temperament's is the weak part of his game.
As soon as he gets a yellow card, he needs to be subbed, but Ollie doesn't seem to do that. No, I think we lack when McTominay's not on. You know, when Matic comes in, it's not as intense. He doesn't work as hard.
I think if you have the only time I'd see Matic and Fred in a midfield two is probably a game against City. If not, it seems counterproductive to put them in. So I'm agreeing with you with the fact that McTominay is a big factor in them not only just covering a lot of ground defensively, but also bringing more offensively.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And also Fred, although he has scored for us at range, he's not great.
£60 million.
Well, City wanted him, and I usually do think City do want players for a good reason. They wanted Jorginho as well, and I do think there's a valid reason for it. I still, now looking back, would struggle how to see Jorginho could fit into a City system, but they did want him. The same with Fred, the same with Alexis Sanchez. They are players that have performed, so let's not Let's not pretend that it was stupid of United to spend that much money on him.
I mean, Fred, in this team, I think, he's doing a job for us that no one else in our squad is doing, and I think he's the perfect player for the team at the moment. I see McTominay develop into an established first-team player for many years, but I don't see Fred as a long-term solution for that midfield.
No, who would you ideally sign for that position? If money's no you can have your pick. Money's no object.
So at the moment, I think we need a really good defensive midfielder to give. We are playing two in that role.
Ball whipped in and Giroud was just inches away from heading it home, but now he's just done his backing. So
good.
Time for Tammy.
But because we need that defensive cover, so we need those two holding midfielders. But I'd really like one really, really good one. And at the moment, I know it's mentioned a lot. But Rice, he's English, he's young. We could build a team in the midfield around him and the defensive for 10 years. But it's that initial. You buy British, you're paying 10 times what they're actually worth.
Yeah, Rice would be extremely expensive, but I'm starting to become even more of a fan of Rice because I think he's brilliant, and his on-the-ball play is also amazing. He covers so much ground. Mm-hmm. I think the ones who have covered in the top 5 of covering ground this season are Rice and Ziyech. Both of them are in the top 5 in the Premier League. There's some stat like that, I can't remember exactly. But those two in midfield just work so well together. If United were to spend, say, 90 million, a bit ambitious and inflated, but get those two, and that United team would be something else.
Well, how much do you think Rice would cost? I think him alone is.
I think he's. Yeah, that's true. I'm just saying. I'm throwing 90 million out there, but I think he might be 70 to 80 million.
I'm just at the Giroud chance.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't already, don't forget to to the viewers, drop a like on there, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. And comment below, ask us questions and. Rashford's just ended up in the stands.
This is what Hudson-Odoi can offer. Great crosses, and that's what Giroud can offer. You can get on the end of the balls, despite just missing it there. This is where you get in behind United's defence, who are slow to react, like Maguire and Lindelof. Bailly is different, I think. I think Bailly is a bit more on his toes on certain occasions. Maguire and Lindelof can be guilty of just ball watching.
Which they did then.
Exactly.
Right.
That hurt a bit for Rashford. As he's running, he's tried to stop himself, momentum. He's tripped over a microphone and then gone over the advertising audience.
Was it a Nike one that he had to promote and just how do I promote it? I'm going right for it.
Probably.
Right. I'm searching Wiki. Darren Hughes.
You. So Adam McNally's got in touch saying should have been a goal there, great ball in. Rice looks like a young Hendo. I will have to say I completely disagree.
Good.
I don't think they're the same player whatsoever. I'm not saying Rice is bad or Henderson's bad or one is good, whatever. I'm saying that I think their games are a lot different. Henderson is really good with long balls. I don't mean that in a bad way, like you could just boot it long. But that's something that he can do really well. These deep crosses. I don't see Rice doing that.
I thought you meant there that you were privy to some information about him and his testicles were extremely droopy. I thought that was...
Don't blame us for being sketchy when you're going to bring that sort of language into it.
The way he uses them, he is superb with long balls.
He is. Yeah.
Well, he's got 3 kids? So, can't complain.
So he's also potent with those long balls. Come on, guys. Come on. Let's keep this clean, yeah?
Well, let's be honest. I'm not being funny, but him and Mo Salah...
When are you ever funny? Come on.
We're expecting kids at the same time. And it worked out about 9 months after they won the Champions League when they were born. So come on, let's do the maths. What happened in Madrid stays in Madrid.
No, it didn't, because I had a baby. They had babies afterwards, so it didn't stay in Madrid.
Well... the European Cup does that to you.
It can be difficult. Has Kovacic done a lot this match? I know he's got on the ball a few times, but I can't think of many significant moments.
No, I forgot he was on the pitch.
And that's why I worry about Tuchel's Chelsea. There's so many players that get on the ball, but what do they actually do with it? I'd be intrigued by what their XG is in this game.
At the moment, you're spot on with your prediction, Seb, of 0-0.
You know,
I was being
always
slightly
sit on
optimistic.
the great thing about sitting on the fence is, when you're right, you look like the king of the world. When you're wrong, you fall off and look like a fool.
But when you literally do it, you can get splinters.
Oh, well, that's... I mean, I prefer my metal fences, you know, stable.
As long as Hendo does not sit on the wall with his long balls.
Oh, yeah, because one might end up on one side, one on the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's painful.
It'll still be 4-0, guys. Come on. Yeah, 4-0. Woo!
Deflected. Oof. Effort for Bruno Fernandes. Cuts inside. It's a shot. Takes a deflection for Chelsea man. Mendy was scrambling, but it just goes wide of the target. I think it's out for a corner. I'm just seeing who it deflects off now.
In all fairness to you, Darren, in that 4-0 that United won, weren't all 4 goals in the second half, or am I wrong?
No, I think I can't remember off the top of my head because wasn't it the first game of last season?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was actually working at the time when I was allowed to do that. I'm a sound engineer by trade, so I was setting up for a band and watching it on the screen of the pub. And I'm pretty sure they all came quite late and all quite quickly. So let's hope that. And United always play better in the second half.
Coming late and quickly sounds like an actual band setting up. So yeah, it worked well.
Rashford scored, didn't he?
He did. He scored 1 or 2. 1. No, because James scored 1. I think Pogba got 1. No, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't remember.
I'll have a look for you. What was it? Manchester United versus Chelsea, 2019.
So Shaw's just about to take the corner on my timeline.
I'm still waiting for the shot.
I can't remember it. And you see, United don't have a
and
except for the centre backs, except for the centre back pairing and maybe McTominay, who really offers height in this United team.
Rashford scored twice. So
okay.
So it was Rashford twice. It was James and
Martial. People.
Wow.
Jamie will be happy with that. He hates him.
Rashford
I understand why Jamie gets...
on 18.
Me and Jamie... Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, Seb. He scored a penalty on 18 minutes. Then Martial scored on 65. Rashford again on 67. And then James wrapped it up for you. Chelsea had more shots, though, actually. If you look at the stats from that day, they had 18 shots to United's 7. 11. They had 7 on target to United's 5. 54% possession to United's 46. They did more passes, and I could so on and so forth.
From what I remember, that scoreline, it flattered us extremely.
I thought Chelsea dominated. I thought they were deserved winners.
Wasn't it Frank's first game?
It was. I thought there were positives from that game. But then I thought, for once, Ole looked like the experienced manager who could get it over the line, and Lampard didn't.
You say that. Ole came in, and since then, people have followed that mould. So you had Frank Lampard in Chelsea, who's gone. Arteta in Arsenal, who, yes, they won today, but it'd be interesting to know how much longer he might still be there.
I think he's there this summer. I think he's there.
Yeah?
I was impressed with what he did against Leicester today. I thought Rodgers got it all wrong and Arteta got it spot on. I thought there were two contrasts today.
Do they need to get top 4? Because I know that Arsenal fans like us crave...
No, I don't think. I don't think they do. I think they have to be near about Europa League, but a lot of them probably still believe in the process, and I can see why. I still don't think that Arsenal squad is really particularly strong or even top 4. If you look at the squad, I don't think that should be competing for top 4. I think some other squads are better. And what's actually worrying, I'd say, for an Arsenal perspective is they spent £50 million on Partey. I think their best midfield pairing is El Neni and Xhaka, the one that they had today. So, I'm not sure where he comes into this. They needed a centre-back. They probably needed they didn't need attackers, but they needed the cover and defence, and they didn't get that. Yet they bought another midfielder. I thought that was odd. And he's not even in the best midfield duo, in my opinion. And yeah, to come back to it, I think Xhaka is also very underrated.
Monster of a left foot.
Oh, aye. But I think he does a lot for the team that goes very undercover. Oh, not undercover. unrecognised.
I don't know if you watched our watch along yesterday for the Leipzig Mönchengladbach game. It ended up being 3-2 to Leipzig, but we were talking about Arsenal. I don't know what got the topic onto that again, but Luke was saying that he thinks that they made an awful decision getting rid of Arsene Wenger in 2018.
No, they needed to. They needed to at some point. It would have got worse for Arsene Wenger. That I'm quite certain of. Because it was going down a very slow trajectory, which can only end badly. It's not like Arsene Wenger was going to pick it up and then suddenly get top 2 with Arsenal in his last years. That wasn't going to happen. It was going down gradually, so it's just going to go down more and more. They need the change. They did need the change.
He was saying their current position in the league, because he says Arsenal fans are saying that it's an improvement, but their current position is actually worse than they've ever been. And I'm thinking, actually, if you look at the points, they got more points this season than they did last season. They might be lower down the table, but they got more points.
Yeah. I do think there's an improvement with Arteta. I think he's a very un-Spanish type manager, which says a lot.
So I don't know about you guys, because I'm a little bit far behind, but it seems the start of this match, predictably, Chelsea were the better side. Luckily, our defence stayed strong, which is when we normally concede. But this last 10 minutes, we've been really coming into the game.
And they look like they're finding more solutions around Chelsea's compact midfield, which is positive because they can continue doing so. I don't think Tuchel will change a lot in the second half. So if United keep going at it, I think they might be able to grab a goal.
I don't know what was going on there, but there was words between McTominay and Rudiger. Rudiger puts his arm around McTominay, and McTominay just pushes him away. I don't know what was going on.
Rudiger seems too nice to be a defender. He seems clumsy as well. Have you seen him sprint?
Yeah.
Oh my god. His knees go up so high. So Adam McNally saying the Arsenal team is slap bang average for Europa League football apart from Oba. I still question Aubameyang.
It's half time here at the bridge, 0-0.
I'm getting to that part with Rudiger and McTominay. Nah, there was nothing mean in that. Yeah, it's half time for me too. Oh well, it's getting there. It's getting there. I say that, but it's not really.
I don't know.
I still have a minute.
With the Arsenal team, I don't know who I'd pick. Like, people say, in most teams you can have you pick a player. You know, there's at least one player in each squad that you'd want in your team. But you're looking at Aubameyang, what is he, 31, 32 now?
Oh, yeah.
And he hasn't been as clinical this season.
Well, he has just started maybe in the past 2 weeks or so with those 2 goals against Benfica and the 3 goals against Leeds. But that's it, really. Oh, he scored against Newcastle as well, I think. But still, I'm still to be overly impressed by Aubameyang, and I think his work ethic is really questionable.
I think Kieran Tierney's a good option if you want cover at left back or whatever. You need someone to push.
I think Kieran Tierney's one of the most underrated defenders in the league, or one of the most underrated players. I think he's fantastic. So I'm at half-time as well, Joe. Same point, and I guess Darren must be getting there. What are the thoughts on the first half then?
It's not been obviously there's no goals and there hasn't been too many chances, but it's been an interesting game, to be honest. Obviously, the two sides, the battle of midfield has been the key here, and obviously it's been pretty even there. I think if Giroud should be scoring that opportunity, that header when the ball was played in by Hudson-Odoi, and he's obviously glanced at it and it's gone out for the goal kick, and he collided with the post and took a minute out or two to get treatment. But other than that, there's not really been that much opportunity. I suppose Rashford had his free kick, which we all said that Mendy should have dealt with much better.
And then there's the handball that comes after it. So what are our thoughts on the handball? Did you think it was a penalty, Joe? Did you, Darren?
I think it was. I think it was a penalty, to be honest.
And that's Joe, the Liverpool fan, saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's handled the ball, and you look at the one that was given in the Leicester game earlier. Okay, it's not a carbon copy, but it's very similar. And you look to some that have been given over the weekend. You look, the key rant I keep on having about VAR is consistency. And there's no consistency there. And as much as it pains me to say it, as a Liverpool fan, Manchester United should have had a penalty.
I actually think it's quite ironic that, because the rule's called handball, the only time that I've seen in the Premier League this year that it's touched someone's hand, it's not been given. Or actually, the only other example I can think of is Andy Robertson against Sheffield. That touched his hand, and that wasn't given. So the only examples I can think of the ball actually touching someone's hand this season have not been given. Yeah, I get the same impression. Consistency is the key. And if you're not given something like that, because the ball doesn't come off someone and then hit Hudson-Odoi's hand. It's Hudson-Odoi's hand that hits the ball first. So technically, it should have been a penalty, yes. And Darren, you're going to say?
I think it should have been a penalty, yeah, 100%. It should be 4-0 now. We should have had 4 penalties. Or Bruno Fernandes. No, yeah, I think that one... I mean, it probably would have been slightly... It's one of those things that if that would have happened to your team, if you were a Chelsea fan, you would have felt a little bit aggrieved, although technically it probably was a penalty. But yeah, it wasn't in the end, so it's 0-0. So that means the true key point of this match. Doritos.
I actually thought you were going to go for the pun because the true prediction was mine saying 0-0. If ever when Jamie's on, he constantly makes the point that I'm called Sebastian False. So, because my last name's True, yeah. So the true prediction is 0-0, and I'm pretty right for the moment.
He's clever, that Jamie bloke, isn't he?
He's something else, isn't he?
Leap. Oh wow,
he's something else.
He's wasted.
He's wasted on this job.
Right, so since it's half time, I'm gonna go for a yes, if that's all right.
You do you.
Oh, I'm not sure whether we can allow that, to be honest.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to ask what a yes, and then I go, oh, it's French, and then you go French, then you go, oh, okay, yeah, fine.
It's not French.
All right, so I'll be back.
It's not French. That's better. That is better.
It's a good graphic. I like the graphics that he's made.
I actually think this is a decent game. I don't think it's actually that bad. It's not. I've seen worse games. I mean, I did watch parts of Fulham versus. I can't even think. Crystal Palace versus Fulham, and that was. I mean, the first half had 0 shots on target. I'm not sure how many in the whole game, so you can imagine. Ooh, Egg Hamada saying hi. Hello, Egg. Egg, yeah. I love just saying that. Egg. How are we doing, Egg? Enjoying the game? Hope so.
It's when they said to Scotty Parker in his post-match interview, when do you think you'll next win a game? And he goes, the next game. And I'm thinking, well, of course he's not going to say, oh, no, not for another 10 matches or something, is he?
It's a stupid question. It's a really stupid question. But I think it's positive for Fulham. Actually, if you look at the end of the game, I'm looking at the stats now. Fulham got 59% possession. They attempted 16 shots to Crystal Palace's 3. They got 4 on target to Crystal Palace's none. And I think there are positives for Fulham. They haven't lost since that game against Leicester. But even before that, they haven't lost since mid-January to Manchester United. So they're actually doing a lot that's okay. It's just that they haven't got a goal scorer. And they're drawing games 0-0, or sometimes they're drawing 2-2. If they score 1, they'll concede 1. If they score 2, they'll concede 2. If they concede none, they'll score none. That's the ethos of Fulham at the moment. And it must be so frustrating for Scott Parker because, in my opinion, they shouldn't even be in relegation zone. I think there are worse teams. I think Newcastle, over the whole season, have probably been worse than Fulham. I think it's hard to say Brighton, but because Brighton are even worse for scoring their goals. I don't know, Burnley might have been worse over the whole season than Fulham, in my opinion. And I know that's a lot of people will probably kill me for saying that. But I think if you look at the whole season in general, probably Burnley have been worse than Fulham. There we go, I said it. And the Adam McNally saying predictions for the Liverpool game. So, Joe, you go.
I reckon I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool because I'm going to be optimistic. I know I said before coming on there that probably end up drawing no look, but actually I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Liverpool.
Well, I remember this game as the one, the last time this fixture was played, talking about Sheffield United at home, it was the one where Dean Henderson made that mistake. And Sheffield looked like they should have won that game. Even in the reverse fixture this season, I think Sheffield United could have got something out of that game against Liverpool. So I do worry for Liverpool. Usually, I'd say Liverpool's away form has been pretty bad recently, but then again, their last 3 games in the Premier League, they have won 2 of the 3, so it's better than their current home form. They should be looking to get something, and I don't ever know what to expect from Sheffield United. I really don't. I think they're unfortunate to be last, but then again, you concede silly goals, you give away cheap chances, you don't fight for the whole 90 minutes, and you don't score, then you're going to be last. And that's what Sheffield United currently are at the moment. They might be unlucky, but they're there for a reason. I think Liverpool will win. I don't think it'll be pretty, but I think they'll win, something like 1-0. But then again, anything can change considering who Liverpool put out on the field. But to mention, Liverpool have 4 players that are injured. Sheffield United have 8. So, injury crisis, more for Sheffield than Liverpool at the moment. So Andy's saying 7-0, Salah hat-trick, Mane hat-trick, Jota 1, and we win the league. Well, I'm not going to say it's over-ambitious, but beyond those lines.
And then he woke up.
It was perfect timing, that, Darren. What are your predictions for Liverpool-Sheffield then?
Well,
as with a neutral hat on, neutral hat.
I think Liverpool will win, and it will pay me greatly because they're the ones who beat us when they were bottom of the league, and I think we were top, which is outrageous. But I think Liverpool will win, but hopefully 2-1 maybe. I don't think it'll be as clear cut.
Yeah, I think it'd be 1-0 to Liverpool. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of goals, and there aren't a lot of goals in this team anyway. So, or both these teams. So I'm saying my midfield: Jones, Kante, and Ginny.
I just saw
I think that's the only choice you got in midfield.
I just saw the.
I was
penalty.
thinking Thiago, Gini, and Jones, but
Thiago's not
Navigator's
impressing me.
fit. You probably play. I think Navigator's fit. Just depends on his fitness.
Yeah.
I know he's been back in training.
Remember when you were all saying Thiago, best midfielder in the world, and I was saying he wasn't even the best midfielder at Bayern.
You were saying Kimmich, weren't you?
I still say Kimmich, and I still think he is one of the best in the world. I think he is amazing and so underrated. And people who don't watch the Champions League, people who only watch the Champions League to see the German team say, "Oh look, he's a great right back." He played the last stages of the Champions League at right back. If not, he didn't play the whole season at right back for Bayern Munich. He covers every now and then, but he's a midfielder, and he's a damn good midfielder. He's up there with the most assists, just behind Muller, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, he's amazing, and I think Kimmich is the best in the world, and I think we haven't been saying it for long enough. There we go.
Fulham's next game, because Scott Parker said they're going to win their next game of football. Their next game is against Tottenham on Thursday.
And they gave Tottenham a good run for their money in the last game. I mean, it was not too long ago this year. I thought Tottenham would run away with it from the beginning, but then Fulham got into it, and they probably looked dominant for bigger parts of the game. I think Fulham actually played really quite well against these big teams. When a team's going to come onto them, they can deal with it.
We'll have to do a watch along next Sunday. I'm just looking at the fixtures. Obviously, Liverpool play Fulham at 2:00, but Manchester United and City at 4:30 next Sunday. Gonna have to do one.
Oh, we've got a big weekend of football coming up just generally. I mean, I'm even just looking forward to the German league with bottom place Mainz playing against Schalke on Friday night. So, yeah, a lot of big games.
Survival.
Yeah, I think Mainz might win this evening even. So, and you got Mönchengladbach versus Leverkusen. You got Bayern versus Dortmund Saturday night. And then you've got Juventus versus Lazio also Saturday night. Big games. Big games.
Just having a look at the football scores, the current scores, and from today, obviously, full-time results have gone in these games in the Premier League. But Palace 0, Fulham 0, as we mentioned. Leicester losing 3-1 at home to Arsenal. Tottenham 4-0 winners. 0-0 here at the Bridge. And then obviously Sheffield United, Liverpool at 7:15. Scottish League Cup, St Johnstone won that 1-0 against Livingston. So first piece of silverware for their manager. Championship, Norwich 2-0 winners away to Wickham. Which is interesting. Let's see if there's anything. La Liga. Celta Vigo drawing 1-0 with Real Valladolid. So that took them off the bottom temporarily. Cadiz lost 1-0 to Betis. Bundesliga. Union Berlin 1, Hoffenheim 1, Mainz 0, Augsburg 1.
Oh, they lost that.
Those one.
Okay, I thought they'd win that.
Those ones are finished. And then Leverkusen are currently 0-0 with Freiburg. And that's 23 minutes gone. La Liga, you've got Sampdoria 0, Atalanta 2, Crotone 0, Cagliari, is that how you pronounce it?
Cagliari.
2. Inter won 3-0 at home to Genoa. Udinese 1-0 winners at home to Fiorentina. And Napoli Benevento 0-0, 21 minutes gone. And Roma Milan tonight, which is interesting.
So this Napoli game is actually probably really important for Gattuso. They did win in midweek against Granada, but not enough to turn over the tie in Europa League. So now they're out of the Europa League. They've been a bit rocky and shaky recently, so Gattuso is coming under, let me just say it like this, a shit ton of pressure. So 2 legends, Inzaghi on one side of Benevento.
Whoa. Is that a metric shit ton or an imperial shit ton? I know that matters to you.
Ton is technically metric.
I thought it was the difference between TON and TONNE.
That's a very good point, actually. That's a very good point. I was
reading
know.
in the week. Speaking of Gattuso, I was reading in the week that Napoli have contacted Benitez about going back there.
Yeah, so Napoli's only decent result recently was that 1-0 win against Juventus, where they got walked over, but they took their chance and really defended for Gattuso. They actually all celebrated with Gattuso at the end of the match because they knew it saved his job. Since then, they lost to Granada in the Europa League. They won the reverse fixture, but wasn't enough to turn over the deficit. Then they also lost to Atalanta 4-2, which was probably quite convincing. And Gattuso's back under pressure. And I don't see them exactly beating Benevento today. They are dominating with the shots. I've got it on another screen somewhere. I'm not really seeing everything. But this is Napoli. They're frustrating. They can create so many chances and then lose a game stupidly. I think they might lose this one to Benevento. And I remember also Gattuso managing AC Milan against Benevento. And I think Benevento got their first point in the league when they came back against AC Milan. It was the goalkeeper who scored. So Gattuso's managerial experience against Benevento has not been terrific, let's just say.
Looking at Liga, you said you've got the Leo game on, haven't you, Seb?
I actually forgot to put it on, but it's on somewhere. I've currently got Leverkusen and Freiburg on, and I've got Napoli Benevento on. So I could get Liga on, but I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of Liga, let's just say.
Yeah.
Well, while you do that,
surprising scoreline.
Strasbourg winning 1-0.
Yeah.
Well, let me just interject for all of those who cared. Ton, imperial, TONNE, metric. Carry on, guys. Carry on.
That's terrific, and I'm actually glad you cleared that up because I never knew. I just knew that ton. Because in French, when I say it ton, TONNE, I thought it was just a translation of ton.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know that. Thank you. I mean, that's really quite intriguing.
That's why I'm here. Every day is a school day, even in lockdown.
Got some sad news coming from the world of football.
Yes.
The LMA, the League Managers Association, have sadly announced the passing of Glenn Roeder. Just said on the TV right now.
Condolences to them.
The condolences go out to his family. Once managed Norwich City, didn't he, in West Ham in the Premier League and Newcastle.
Okay. I'm not too aware. The name doesn't ring that much of a bell to me. And we're getting ready for the second half, right? Is the second half for you? Come on, Joe.
Speaking of Hudson-Odoi has just come off at half-time for Reece James.
Interesting, isn't it? Yeah.
So we were saying that he wasn't really having much of an impact in that right wing-back position, and they've obviously taken him off.
Well, he did get into a position to cross for Drew's chance. I mean, he did create a few crosses, but I just don't think Chelsea players would get on the end of it. Maybe ineffective, yes. Maybe. For
some reason, Solskjaer's having a discussion with the linesman about something. He looked very agitated, did Solskjaer, and the linesman's just giving him a shrug and just saying, well, that's life, I suppose.
The decision's gone against you. That's life?
I presume that's what he's saying. As the second half just
sorry for my incompetences.
I think we need to do a substitution too then for the second half. The Doritos are out. What are we going to have next?
Oh, I'd go for the Haribos. I'm going for the Haribos. Those look like you got them off an advert. The packaging's so perfectly smooth.
Well,
it's so smooth.
Nice.
Look at that.
Other sweets are available. Fine. Haribos it is.
And the second half is
pastels.
Second half is kicked off for me.
Oh, so it's one for one and one for the other. Guys, get down in the comments fruit pastels or Haribo, like and subscribe to this sweet life. Come on.
Like the video for fruit pastels, subscribe for Haribo.
LTS, let's talk sweets.
Now, I'm actually really happy that Reece James has come on. That way we can call this game the James Derby.
He's just flattened Luke Shaw. So Hudson-Odoi's got a big ice pack strapped to his thigh, so that could be why.
That explains a lot.
Excuses.
But I'm always a big fan of these same name derbies. Like if Liverpool were playing against Tottenham, the Davis Derby, or against Everton, the Davis Derby. I'm always a big fan of the shared names.
It's like I noticed a big debate on Twitter the other day. People going, Dortmund versus Mönchengladbach is not a derby. Blah 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 blah. They're not near one another. And then people going, yes, it is. And I'm thinking, well, technically, it's not.
It's not.
Geographically, it's not. Well, apparently. They were saying that German TV call it the Borussia Derby, and I'm thinking, well...
Oh, you're saying Borussia Dortmund and Mönchengladbach?
Yeah.
Although they are actually quite close. They're in the same industrial area of the east of Germany. I thought you were saying Leipzig, sorry, I've confused that. But they're not far. It's not technically a derby. You've got the derby between Schalke and Dortmund, which is more of a derby than that. But Mönchengladbach is definitely in the same region. They're both industrial cities. In that eastern plain that could have been claimed as France. I don't know. Oh, we've got Darren Hughes who's got in touch. Adam, I agree. I would say on the feed, but these two are shut up.
What was that?
Let's just say, Joe, we've got someone called Darren Hughes getting in touch saying, Adam, I agree. I would say it on the feed, but these two won't shut up about football.
So Adam voted for Haribo. And I was going to mention, but like...
He did, actually.
It's like this is meant to be a football stream or something. I mean, come on, guys.
What's happening there? You know I can replace your face with a sweet.
I'm half tempted.
Yeah, I mean, Jamie did it for me with a very great montage I did the other week. Did you see that one, Joe? When I was doing Champions League watch along and my one kept cutting off and he replaced my screen with Oh, thanks. Just trying to get my fingers there. There we go. So sweet of you.
Who did you replace? He replaced your face with who? Did he replace it with?
He put me on the screen a montage that I did ages ago.
Saved. Chance. Blocked.
Who? What?
Who? What?
Chance for Chelsea. Ball played across the box. Ziyech had the shot. Saved by the feet of De Gea. Comes back out to Reece James. He smashes a shot in. Blocked by the United defender. And it's come back out to the right-hand side. He's played the ball in. It's an easy take for De Gea in the air. So chance for Chelsea.
Can I just say that I think De Gea is one of those goalkeepers that comes up under extreme unfair scrutiny. So it's a great save, isn't it? Let's be honest. The first
Chillwell
one
down the left, wasn't it? Playing it to Ziyech. And De Gea, it was actually his hand, so it looked like his feet from the wide angle, but it was his hand.
Great save.
Stronger right arm to save from Ziyech, and then it comes back out to James, who rifles a right-footed shot, and I think it was blocked by Maguire, I think.
It's a great save. And that's the thing. When De Gea has a great match or makes some great saves, we don't talk about it. Yet when he makes a mistake, I think genuinely that De Gea has made less mistakes than, say, Nick Pope this season. Just to put it into context.
This season compared to last is night and day. I do think that the Dean Henderson, he is keeping him out of the team. I said in the first half, and it's true, I would like Dean Henderson to get a run. But that said, all keepers make mistakes. This is the chance. I've just seen the chance now. That's how far behind I am. I think it was Luke Shaw that got the block.
Mm-hmm, the second one, yeah.
Yeah.
And Fred's got his yellow card. Oh.
What a shocker.
Wow. It's one of those things that I if I bet on people to get cards, I don't bet on a lot of people to get cards, but I'll always put Fred and Luke Shaw down. And it's almost guaranteed money.
Like Fabinho at Liverpool.
Yeah, even more so Fred and Shaw. Those two. Every time I've bet on those two to get cards, they get cards. It's almost like Xhaka or Yves Bissouma. You can just bet that they're going to get a card and you're almost certain to win.
I'd like to see Yves Bissouma at Liverpool. Yeah, if Wijnaldum does leave in the summer on a free, I'd go for Yves Bissouma as a replacement.
I've been saying this for a long, long time, and people ridiculed me at the beginning, but I think Yves Bissouma could be a very good player.
What do you reckon, Adam? Are you still watching Do you think he's Basuma?
I mean, he'll get a shitload of cards. Double digits every season.
Adam has switched to this sweet life.
Good one. So it actually looks more like Chelsea will score in the second half for the moment. And Reece James fell, and that was a terrible pass from Kovacic. Awful.
That Fred challenge wasn't great. TBF.
TVF. You're going to have to help us out. Oh, I thought you said TVF. Apologies.
Are you not down with the kids?
I am. Oh, and it's 2-0 to Napoli now. And it looks like is it Zielinski? Or does it look like it's been disallowed? It's been disallowed. Zielinski's starting to become a goal scorer for Napoli. I can remember about 3 goals so recently, and one of them was a screamer. Yeah.
There's another player that got away from Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp desperately wanted him, but it didn't happen.
Not a lot of people did rate Zielinski, so Napoli was one of those almost last chance to really make it, and he's performing. I'm a big fan of his. And it's especially Gattuso because under Ancelotti he didn't get that much game. Oh wait, was he at Napoli when he was? How long has Zielinski been at Napoli?
Must be about 3-4 years now.
Forget about it. I'm worried. I'm wondering whether he was at Napoli when Ancelotti was there.
I think he was.
He was.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking he didn't get much game time, but then suddenly Gattuso came in and it was almost like, this is my guy, Zielinski, if I'm saying that right.
Reece James just had a shot deflected wide for a corner for Manchester United.
Ooh.
Shaw's going to put this in.
Is he right-footed or is he left-footed?
Zielinski.
No, James. Sorry,
James. I think he's left-footed.
Is he left-footed?
Shaw puts it in, whips it in, heads out of the way.
I'd have been surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if he's right-footed but with 2 left feet.
Wow. Oh,
thank you.
Poor.
Thank you.
That was
Chelsea
poor.
can counter. That was poor. Chelsea had the chance to counter, and I think Giroud with the pass to Kovacic, and it was well behind him, and it was poor. Ziyech has got possession, and he cuts inside, pass 1, pass 2, shot, deflects up.
When you said Chelsea lost possession, I was going to ask you, was it Kovacic by any chance? And then you just said it was, and I thought, brilliant. It's Kovacic who loses the ball again. It's just one of those things that you can almost predict as well. I remember today watching Tottenham versus Burnley, and in the 5th minute or something, Lucas Moura ran from his own half and was in a good position to either put the ball through for Harry Kane or Gareth Bale. And I thought to myself, Lucas Moura, he's just going to make the wrong decision, or if he makes the right decision, he's going to not succeed, because I don't think he's a great footballer, even if he did play well today. And he did even better. He slipped with one foot, and that foot kicked his other that knocked him over, and it was the most comical thing ever. It made me laugh. I was watching it in the train, and I thought, I was right, and even more than right. It was just brilliant.
It's like those double kick penalties, isn't it? When the player goes to take it and they kick it onto the slip and kick it onto the standing foot.
But then doing it with your own leg. That's what he did. Terrific.
It's funny unless it happens to you.
Of course.
So I'm just at the corner because I'm well behind. But that's exactly what I mean. So it came out from the United corner to Fred. Fred's poor first touch means it turns over to Chelsea. Chelsea are then through, and they can counter. That is my biggest concern about Fred.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of games.
He's just done it again now. So bloody Fred.
I was trying not to laugh at Adam the other week when we were watching Liverpool United, wasn't it? And he kept saying, "Where is Fred?" Because Fred didn't have much impact in that game.
Oh, so this is the moment in the week where I have to come out with the Fred stats. Is that it?
Please. I don't think he's played that. I mean, he's not set the world alight, but those are the first 2 first touch mistakes that I've noticed. But I haven't really been paying much attention to him.
Actually, not that bad from Fred. So, well, no, actually not that great. So, 33 touches, 18 passes successful out of a possible 25 attempted, 1 long ball successful out of the 1 tried, no cross attempted, 1 successful dribble out of 1 attempted. He's won 2 of his 5 ground duels attempted. He's lost possession 11 times, which is quite high. considering he's touched the ball 33 times and he's lost the ball 11 times, that's not great. And nothing of note apart from that. I mean,
it's that losing the ball, especially when it comes into him.
Mm-hmm. It's being indecisive. He can do things with the ball, but then sometimes he's just in midfield and he's thinking, what should I do? Pass it there, pass it there. Just keep it simple, Fred. Do what the manager's told you to do. Which I guess number one is to not get sent off, but you know, baby steps.
So Seb, have you ever thought about sending a letter to Fred and giving him that advice? Fred, just be better, mate.
Yeah.
I'm be better.
I'm actually not the one who criticised him the most, so I don't feel the need, but I can't take time out of my day to send him a letter. It's just that postage from this country costs a bit more, so I can leave you lot the liberty before me.
Maybe drop an email, but create a burner email account so it's not actually going to your proper email.
Oh
account.
no!
I
send the proper informal letter with my address on so it can be sent back.
Recorded, so you know when he's had it.
I'll send him a QR code, which is a link to an audio bit online, so that he can just scan the QR code and find the website that I created with an audio clip of me just saying, "Fred, get better." Brilliant. It's overworking for nothing in the end. Brilliant.
And knowing Fred, he probably thinks, but I've not been ill.
That's true. That's true. Or I could just do a montage of him in the. Oh yeah, we mentioned the other week. He's appropriately called Fred because he drives the mystery van. Is that what it's called?
Oh, Mystery Machine, yeah.
Mystery Machine. So we thought that was very appropriate for Fred. He is a mystery after all. And a failed cross from Ben Chillwell.
I do think that we signed him as a bit of a PR thing because Fred is red.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's your mascot, isn't it, Fred the Red?
Fred the Red, correct.
Just see Fred with Fred. Brilliant.
Fred is red.
Left Fred on red.
I mean, Fred the Red is a great mascot, but can anyone get better than the West Brom one from last season?
Is that the boiler?
That's the boiler, yeah.
We've got Mighty Red, the Liver bird, who has 6 spikes down. I think it's down in. I think it's 19 down its back and 6 on the wings or something.
And
19 for the league titles and 6 for the European Cup.
Yeah, and I've seen that as well. He's up on bricks because he's had his wheels removed, I think, as well. Hasn't he? That's the...
stereotypes.
Can I just say, I'm half Scouse, so I think that's okay for
I'm
me
100%. I'm 100%. So you can't hear it, but I'm from there, born and not bred. I grew up in Chester, but whole family's from there. Was born
actually
there as
born
well.
in Liverpool, were?
I was born in Fazakerley.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I've heard of Fazakerley. I've never been, but
oh no, you don't want to go. You don't want to go.
I've heard of it, yeah.
You don't want to go. There are places in Liverpool that you might want to go, and you're hesitant. Fazakerley's not one. You don't hesitate. As soon as you hesitate, question a lot of what you're doing in your life. Sorry, anyone who lives in Fazakerley, you know I'm right.
And this was the moment that the Let's Talk Sports stream lost half of its viewers.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. Oh, and Fernandes has played in Rashford, and no, he hasn't.
Greenwood had a 1-2 on the edge of the penalty area and whipped a shot wide of the target. I'm not sure if he's got the corner there or not, whether it come off Christensen. Just having a look at the replay.
How Fernandes lost his cool there? My word. How has Fernandes been in this game quite a lot? Because I haven't seen him. Yep, okay, no, he's been in the game quite a bit. I just haven't seen him. And it looks like...
the goal kick.
To me, it looked like that James was offside. I don't know. I always get that inner feeling that James is just always offside. I don't know whether you lot feel like that often.
Yeah, he tends to wander off a bit, doesn't he? So close to that move to Leeds United before last season. And then obviously he joined United in the summer. I remember watching the Leeds documentary on Amazon. He even posed with the shirt.
Can you imagine Bielsa trying to manage him?
Oh.
No, James, don't just constantly run into the flanks. There are ways to do it. Right, boss, I'll run into the flanks.
Chance saved. Ball across the box by Shaw, calls to the right back position where Wan-Bissaka picks it up, pulls it back to McTominay, who bends a shot, and Mendy gets down low to make the save. Just look at the replay now, so it's down the left-hand side. Rashford plays in Shaw, plays a ball across the box, evades everyone. Wan-Bissaka picks it up, pulls it back to McTominay, who whips a first-time right-footed shot towards the bottom corner, and it's saved by Mendy.
Can we just talk about that little roulette that Fred did on the edge of the box that was tasty as hell? That's brilliant. I'm just going to say it now. It's brilliant, that little dribble from Fred. You'll get onto it, Darren. You'll get there.
Chillwell's just joined Fred in the book for a lunge on Greenwood. He's just sived him down.
He's struggling, Chillwell. He's really struggling in that 5.
The daft thing is, though, if he just doesn't put a tackle in, the ball goes out for a goal kick anyway.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that Chillwell does. He kind of loses his head sometimes. I wouldn't say gets angry and loses cool, but he just lacks a lot of concentration sometimes.
Yeah, so I've just reached the Fred part, but
you're not telling me that's lucky. That was a good roulette.
No, it was until the McTominay one was a good shot, wasn't it? He's quite good from outside the box. But the Fred thing, I'm not hating on Fred. That was 80% perfect, but when he did lose it, and he relied on Greenwood to give it back to him.
I still like it.
Ball drops to Rashford on the edge of the box then, but it's a tame effort where he's just bent it into the arms of Mendy.
So basically what United are relying on is Mendy flaps away the ball quite often. So if you get crosses in or something like that, the ball's going to come out and you can get a shot on the edge of the box. Something along those lines. If you just put Mendy under pressure, they'll get chances.
How's United? I'd stick Cavani on.
Yeah.
Give something for the Chelsea defence to think about, an aerial threat, because he's great in that box in the air. Plus, if Mendy does drop some, he's going to be straight in there poaching a goal. Chelsea on the counter-attack here with Mason Mount. He's into the penalty area. Mount, he's still going, and it's blocked by McTominay, who got back there, but it's dropped to the edge of the box. Chilwell's shot hits Giroud, who's in an offside position.
I reckon in a match like this... There you go, sorry, yeah, go on, John.
Who should we put on?
Azpilicueta Cavani.
Have you looked at the teams today?
He's not on the bench, is he?
He's injured.
No, he's injured.
But
I couldn't remember. If Cavani was free, then I'll have to have a look at the bench.
Because the Cavani, his movement in the box is brilliant. And when you've got a defensive 3 like Chelsea do, they're not going to move around a whole lot. You're not going to, how do I say it, out-muscle him in the box in the air. So get someone like Cavani who's going to pull one out of position and create space for others. That's the kind of player you need. But obviously, he's not there. So I wouldn't prefer having a Martial on there right now. Maybe a change would have needed to be done if Cavani were there, but I wouldn't put Rashford on. Not Rashford, sorry, Martial. Because Martial doesn't move about whatsoever.
So what change would you do then? Both of you. If you were Ollie now, it's 0-0. It's, it could easily go either way.
I reckon what you could try doing is, Ollie could try doing something completely different that he's not done yet, and keep one up top, say for instance maybe Rashford, then put 2 in behind that's Fernandes and maybe Van der Beek. Like Leicester do a bit, they have Vardy on the last man, and they also have 2 in behind that are Barnes or Maddison or whatever, who try and pull out that defence, or at least cause that deep lying midfield some problems. That's what I think United should try doing. Get Fernandes a bit more advanced, get Van der Beek also in a very advanced position, and leave Rashford onto the last man.
And who would you take off for that?
Good question. I don't know if you take off James, Greenwood, because either one of those two, Greenwood or James.
I'm trying not to laugh at Paddy Power's tweet. It says, she said yes, with a picture of a ring, and then it's got Hudson-Odoi with the ball on his hand. I don't know whether you can see it. As if it's a wedding ring. Could you imagine that?
Cavani's injured, isn't he? Says Adam Nelly.
Yeah, Cavani's injured. My mistake.
We were talking in a hypothetical world. Let's get that clear.
So I've just had a message from a friend that says I should have gone for fruit pastels. So,
well,
thank you. I've got someone backing me up here for a fruit pastel, especially the black covered ones.
So the decision has been made.
We'll only find out in time whether it was the right one.
But we'll keep it at that for the moment.
Who's on the United bench? I'm just trying to find their lineups now.
Who's what?
On the United bench.
Well, you can check out in our description of our video.
Oh, yeah. I am very wary, though, of opening the linker, because the last time I did that, I foolishly left the sound on.
So, you got Baye, Diallo, Henderson, Martial, Matic, Tellez, Twanzebe, Van der Beek, Williams. So, there aren't very many attacking options that they can exploit there, United, are there?
You could have a look at Diallo, or Martial, but...
No, Martial now.
Let's be honest, if Martial's not going to score you any goals, is he? Watch him come on now and just get a winner or something now.
No, I'm quite confident if Martial comes on, he doesn't get a goal.
Martial comes on, he gets the first, Bruno gets one, and then Martial gets another 2 to complete his hat-trick, to make it the 4-0 that I said it would be.
I don't know whether taking off Hudson-Odoi and putting James on was the right decision. I think maybe taking off Chillwell and putting Alonso for Chelsea might have been the right decision. I don't know. He looks like... I'm still not convinced by Chilwell out on that left there. He's just
Hudson-Odoi's got
lost
his
the ball
injury, though,
so much. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, sorry. Very true. We're missing goalie injuries today.
United. He's got space on the left to play in Rashford. Dordle's on the ball and Reece James and Azpilicueta back, but he just play it to Greenwood. Inside, it's Fred. He's bent it. He's gone for it. Oof, just wide of the target. That would have been a collector's item if Fred had scored then.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so the mistake that you made there was assuming that Fred was going to score. I think even Fernandez has publicly mocked Fred's shooting ability, so...
I'm just trying to drum it up a bit, try and make it a bit more dramatic, a bit more interesting.
You know who has completed the most passes in this game? Who has completed the most passes in this game? Go on, take a guess. Who were?
It's not going to be Fred, is it?
Oh no, don't worry about that. He's far down. Well, not far down, but he's not. Yeah.
Which team does he play for?
Chelsea. So I'm going to break it down a bit easier. In the top 4, they're all Chelsea players. 3 of them are Chelsea defenders, which can highlight a lot of how this game is going, or how Thomas Tuchel's tactics are based around possession and defensive areas. So it's Azpilicueta, Kovacic, Christensen, Rudiger, and 5th place is Maguire. So this game has mostly been played in their own last third or second third of the pitch, if that's a great way of saying it. It's not been brought to the other teams yet, this game.
Great tackle there by Kante.
So the last third, is that metric or imperial?
Fractions are not a unit of measure.
The mic.
Fractions are not a unit.
I've just got to the Fred chance, and then it pans to Ollie, who is laughing and cheering and giving a thumbs up at Fred. So even he knows that, Fred, don't shoot. Just pass it, mate. Just pass it.
Hey, how many shots on target have United had today?
3.
They've had a Jose.
Ollie got the predictions right in the first half.
3.
Are United actually trying to apply a high pressure, or is this just pretending? Because I don't feel like it's very effective.
The thing is with United is if a team has a low block, we do find it very hard to break them down. And I think Joe is right. Without a Cavani, a number 9 there, we're going to struggle, because it's going to be very hard to try and get in behind a team who right now, I'm not sure where you guys are, every man is behind the ball.
Looks like United's formation when they're not in possession is a 4-2-3-1.
If I were Tuchel, I'd actually put Jorginho on.
If you were Tuchel, you wouldn't be here. Can I just say that?
Hey, you don't know. He might have those headphones in. But I would put Jorginho on, because Chelsea seem like they're only trying to get chances by booting it long, or because United are applying a high pressure. I still don't think Kovacic and Kante is good enough midfield to deal with a high press. Even against West Brom, they both struggled, and I thought this game's missing a Jorginho. Jorginho, even if he doesn't bring a lot defensively, can at least control a game. He can play out from those midfield positions. There, Chelsea aren't being successful in that.
Not United, so Chelsea just playing about with the ball a bit. Playing it side to side, trying to work an opening. Can they part the Red Sea?
What do we think of the Ziyech transfer? Has it been a success? Has it been a bit of a disappointment? Do we need time?
I think you can ask that same question for a lot of the big signings that they made.
Well, because everyone is questioning Werner and Havertz, so that's fine. But no one's brought up the Ziyech one, have they? Like as if that was fine.
How much was Ziyech?
He was 35 million.
Yeah, so compared, I don't think that brings on as much pressure as the 80 million pound.
But he's 28 soon. So I get that he was cheaper and that's fine, but he's nearly 28, so it adds up afterwards.
I can see the future.
What?
Anthony Martial's coming on as the substitute.
Oh my.
Come on, Tony. Come on.
Let's hope he might be going for something a bit ambitious then, Ollie. He might go for a 4-3-3. Who knows? Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, Martial up front.
Well,
Push James and Chillwell back into their positions and maybe at least go for a goal, but Chelsea might not be able to play out from it.
It's who you take off and if you trust the centre-back pairing.
Well, I think that he's going to take off James. That's what I guess he would do.
Yeah.
He could take off Greenwood in all fairness, but I think he'll take off James, which ends the James derby.
It's just a shame.
It's always a shame.
And it would be an England versus Wales matchup.
Even so, yes.
Do not mention the rugby yesterday. Not that I'm a rugby fan, but...
I'm trying to see which next name derby is coming up in the Premier League, but I'm struggling.
It's the V and Brewster derby at 7:15.
Wow, it's a different type of derby, that one, isn't it? It's like recently the Real Sociedad and Manchester United game was the David Moyes derby.
The David Moyes derby. Yeah. Can I say something really controversial about David Moyes?
Go on.
So my mum and brother are big Everton fans. So Everton really is sort of my second team, not because I chose them to be, but more because it was forced upon me. So I knew a lot about Moyes before he came to United, and he was told that he had 7 years. It was a 7-year contract. So he gave the squad a chance. If he knew that he would have had 9 months, he would have cleared out the squad a lot faster and tried to get in those players. I think he was very badly done to. The decisions that he made after that, completely his own fault.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I have found the next derby for names, but unfortunately both these players, both of them, are injured. And it's the Barnes derby on Wednesday. Ashley and Harvey. But they're both injured.
So, can I just ask, because it's been so long since I was a virgin, how do you guys manage? I mean, seriously, you were going through
savage.
You were going through squads to try. Oh, who's going to be the next name derby?
Oh, it's been worse than this, Darren. I mean, I've even come up with the best birthday lineup because
I didn't even realise that Pulisic come on.
I did not either.
Because you were too busy looking up.
Oh, but I've got.
He must have just come on for Giroud because Giroud's missing.
Adam, it gets better. So.
Are we back on names?
No. We're on something different.
Werner's going to come on now.
If Manchester City play with Laporte, Stones, Cancelo, and Walker, they all have their birthdays on the 27th or the 28th of May. Yeah, he's off. He's off.
I just like the fact that this one sort of scrolls, and I think this next slide is really there. There we go. Darren is just getting his.
That's fair enough. But yeah, 27th and 28th of May.
Have you just waited until I'm back on stream?
Well, no,
Oh,
you're still there. You're still there,
Mendy.
but I
Mendy
like
what?
to take a breather.
Ball
Mendy-
across the box, so he should be taking that easy, and he's fumbled it. He's lucky enough to get on top of that before Greenwood sneaks into.
None of these
not
Mendy
Greenwood,
saves have
sorry,
been
Fernandez
convincing.
sneaks in to get the ball.
None of these Mendy saves have been convincing.
It's an easy take down to collect the cross. He just squirms out of his gloves.
Yeah, this actually comes on to what Luke said in the comments earlier on, saying, forgot to mention it, Luke, sorry about that. Mendy is a good second choice keeper, but not the level Chelsea needs to challenge for the title. I'd agree.
Yeah, I think Luke said the other week if he was Chelsea, he'd go for Donnarumma if he's available.
Yeah, but then they've still got Kepa there. They've bought Mendy. I mean, there's going to be a limit at some point.
Also from the comments, Adam, I think, has a really, really, really good point, which I think needs to be raised.
Fruit pastels.
Fruit pastels are the midlife crisis of Haribo. And you know what?
No. I'm glad that Adam's got involved because he's come up with the next name derby, which is Mendy with City versus Chelsea. Of course. Thank you, Adam.
It's a good one, Adam, actually.
Yeah, it's a good one. Good one.
What do you mean? It's a good one. You're complimenting him because he can read. Is that really the level that we're at now? Oh, he can read Mendy.
You've got to be able
I like
to.
Adam. I like Adam. I love Adam. Adam and me. But
It's like coming out with stats and saying, well, you can read numbers, but you've got to find them.
no.
Like, I genuinely forgot Benjamin Mendy was in the Man City squad.
Yeah, I thought he was just their social media officer, to be honest. But
Understanding stats is quite a big thing.
Oh,
I
not
can see
really.
Ziyech off, Timo Werner on.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah. I'd like to know, he must have a personal barber, Timo Werner, because he just had his hair cut. His hair looks...
His hair looks the
Done.
same length all the time.
You can legally have a barber or hairdresser if you are about to go on camera. There is a legal loophole for people who are on TV.
I didn't know that.
So when you see,
So we can actually
footballers-
go and get our hair cut because we're on TV, technically
Well, it's not
speaking.
professional, does it?
if you can find a barber that would agree to do it, yes, you could argue that you are being on camera. Yeah.
Loophole.
What industry are you in? Well, it's not for under 18s, but you know.
Excuse me. Oh, the haircut. It's not for here. Now, come on, guys.
Well, technically, we've put not appropriate for kids because, you know, YouTube has two options.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying. Wow, I've made this sketchier than it was originally.
Martial's come on, but I didn't see who he was on for because I was too busy laughing at
Greenwood,
that. Not for kids comment.
So Greenwood, he's come on for Greenwood, which
I'm currently at the point that James is down.
And it's another Buccaneer who's been
yeah,
booked
which
this time.
seems
Maguire.
weird why Greenwood comes off.
Maguire's just been booked for fouling Pulisic.
Sounds about right.
Just takes a swipe at him.
Yeah, I'm
Seventh booking
curious.
of the season.
So, what does Maguire do well?
Picking up cards.
Looking after his
Beating up
sister.
people in Greece.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. Looking after his sister.
Oh yeah, sorry, I thought you said system, sorry. I misheard, sorry. Apologies. Go on, Darren.
Well, that was as far as the joke goes.
I think
He
what he
should
does
be in a
better
cell.
is analysing West Brom's game. Hard place to go.
I mean, technically, he shouldn't be in a cell because in Greece, as soon as you put in appeal, you are legally considered
Yes.
no longer guilty.
But, well, I mean, in all fairness, Greece have a lot of loopholes in their laws, which is quite funny. If you look into it, it's pretty hilarious.
Stuff financially as well.
The chickens with
So just need
money,
the
in them. Sorry, that's generalising a lot about Greece. We don't adhere to xenophobia.
I love Greece. I seriously could not cook without Greece.
I
think Greece
knew that was
is-
coming. I knew it was coming. I hate Greece. It's one of the most cheesy films ever, and unrealistic ones. How the hell do they look 18? No, nah,
Mamma Mia kills that country off the film. Just
Mamma Mia kills itself off.
I saw about 20 minutes of it once. Not voluntarily. I was at a friend's house and his parents put it on the TV. And I was
Can
just
I
like,
tell
really?
you guys a secret?
Go for the secret.
Hang on. I need to tell you. I need to get proper close for this.
It was a bit
Guys.
anticlimactic by preparing that way, but go on.
Guys, I have never seen Grease or Mamma Mia, although I am a massive musical fan.
Then you're just lying. You're just lying. It's like saying I'm a big fan of McDonald's, but I've never had a Big Mac. I mean,
No, it's not.
It's the title of the whole brand.
I mean, you can see on the back there that they're all musicals.
He says he's a fan of musicals, and then we'll just cite La La Land.
I've never seen that film. Doesn't interest me.
Oh, La La Land. That's not a musical. I think that it is full of music and they're singing, and therefore it is a musical.
I never said it wasn't a musical. It's just one of those. I never said that. That's not my point. I know, but
cried.
The point
La La
is,
Land.
someone will watch one musical, and that one musical will be La La Land, and they'll say, "I'm into musical now. I'm into musicals," and they've watched one.
At La La Land.
Okay, can United get their usual penalty? I need to get ahead of Seb in Football Premier League, Jamie Burgoyne says. You're not getting ahead of me, Jamie.
I
You're
also
not.
cried at Phantom of the Opera on the West End.
It's a shame.
I also cried in the Sheffield United game.
Go on.
I cried when I watched an advert this morning as well.
Oh, I cried when that Sheffield game that United won 3-2. They were supposed to win by 2 goals so I could win a bet of that would have got me 800 francs from 1, but they only needed to win the game by 2 goals. They won it by 1.
When was the last time you cried whilst watching a football match?
Probably in about 10 minutes' time.
You really think it's going to get that bad? Because I don't think Chelsea. For me, I don't think Chelsea are going to score. I don't know whether United will, but I don't think Chelsea will.
I shed a tear when we won the title. I'm not going to lie. Not ashamed to admit it either. Darren cried for a different reason.
Absolutely. And the funny thing is the season before that, when City won the league and you won the Champions League, that made me so happy because you've already won the Champions League and City had already won the league. If that was the other way round and you'd won the league that year and City would have won the Champions League, I'd have been devastated.
I was saying that next round in the Champions League in the quarter, because City are going to get through their round and PSG should, because I can't see Barcelona come back. I'd love to see PSG City quarter final.
I'd love to see John Stones try and deal with Neymar. I mean that seriously. I don't mean that as a joke. I mean that seriously.
I mean, Tu and Zebe did it.
Of Mbappe, and plus PSG got their tactics wrong. They just said we'll put 2 up front, Mbappe and Neymar, and you do what you want. That's what Tuchel basically did. There's much more structure under Pochettino, and I thought against Barcelona, Koeman was a bit arrogant. My system will always work. What did PSG do? Okay, we're going to put Verratti in behind Mbappe, maybe Keane out wide. He's going to do hard work, but still push Barcelona back. As long as you don't get Pedri and De Jong to control the midfield, then Barcelona aren't going to get in the game. So Pochettino, spot on.
Well,
and that's when I thought, yeah.
When Poch was in our league, I do think that he was probably one of the best technical managers. That the way that he read the game was great.
And I don't want to hear anything about people saying, Klopp made these fullback attacking thing a thing at the Premier League. Pochettino did that ages ago. He always had 2 sets of fullbacks so that they could play in, week out, and just keep hassling those flanks. Kieran Trippier, Walker, Rose, Davis. He was the one who really introduced that attacking fullback into our league, or made it a permanent mark in our league. And I think Pochettino is very underrated. Yeah.
Attempts in this game, Chelsea have had 15, United have had 10.
I've just got to the...
Make that 16.
To the Lindelof Werner one.
Pulisic was charging down in the United goal, but he just sailed his shot over the bar. Never going to trouble De Gea from there.
He's not. How many decent chances has Fernandes created today? I wouldn't say... I've not really seen decent chances coming from Fernandes.
No, and I made him one of the cover stars for the stream.
Well, you had good reason to.
And Havertz, who's not played today.
It's a shame. It's a shame what's happening with Havertz, I think.
I was like, do I put Mount or do I put Havertz? And I thought, I'll
it's
go
Mount.
Havertz.
Mount's the poster boy for Chelsea at the moment. He's the only thing that's keeping them ticking, which is why their next leg against Atletico Madrid could be quite awkward because he's suspended along with Jorginho. So maybe Havertz gets a run in. Kante and Kovacic behind, which, in all fairness, on paper, in my opinion, works quite well. You've got that ball carrier in Havertz, whereas you've got Kovacic and Kante who can act more as defensive cover.
I think it's probably right at this part of the game that. Have you guys heard about Ollie's side hustle?
Side hustle.
Yeah. He's started to sell bras.
Okay.
Loads of support, just no cops.
Whoa.
Adam McNally's. Oh yeah, okay, cool. Adam McNally saying it's Werner, not Havertz. What do you mean it's Werner, not Havertz? Oh, the poster boy. Possibly, very, very possibly.
I put Havertz on there.
I can't remember.
He's saying the poster boy for the club, is he?
Oh, really?
No,
I don't know.
For the thumbnail, I put Havertz. Well, I should have done. I swear.
You did put Havertz. You did put Havertz. Don't worry about that. I don't know what you mean by it's Werner, not Havertz. The boy for the club. I think Mount's the one that everyone looks at now and says he's the star of Chelsea.
Just ignore him. He's off his tits on Haribo.
He's got a point. Got a point now. If you're off your tits on Haribo.
Aren't we all?
Kids and grown-ups love it so. The wonderful world of Haribo.
Well done.
I'm not a big fan of him.
You got to love the cola bottles and you got to love the rings.
Can I just say that I think Fred's done really well in the game?
The eggs, you can take it or leave it. I'm not a marshmallow kind of guy. So, my in-depth analysis on the Haribo sweets.
Whose prediction is coming out right at the moment?
Yours.
All right.
Sorry for being optimistic and saying there'll be goals like there historically is.
It just seemed like the reverse picture was really a template for this one.
I forgot that one was 0-0. I didn't watch the reverse picture to be well. I watched about 5 minutes and got bored.
It was Mendy's first match, I think.
Oh, in the league, yeah.
Thanks to Arsenal, a 0-0 1 point means that we do stretch our lead in second by a point.
But you're still 12 points behind City.
To be fair, I shouldn't complain because a win tonight for us would take us within 6 points of fourth. So,
and takes you within 1 point of Chelsea.
Aye.
So Chelsea is still behind West Ham in the league if they don't win. It's brilliant, that.
West Ham fourth, are they still?
West Ham are still fourth, yeah. Despite their defeat yesterday to City. It says a lot about their season, doesn't it?
They've done incredibly well.
Tomorrow's game's going to be interesting, isn't it, as well? Everton, Southampton.
Yeah. I made a reference on the channel a while back, and it was, if a football pitch is square, so basically if you stretch out the sides, I reckon Everton would win more matches. And then I used the counter example as Southampton. I said if this pitch were stretched out wider into a square shape, I think they'd lose a lot more matches. So maybe this is where Everton exploit that from Southampton. Southampton, who play a very high pressing game but quite tight, and Everton have James Rodriguez who could just spread the ball around, and even Sigurdsson can do that to an extent.
On the counter, no, they fail it. Sorry.
No worries. And Everton can spread the ball around with Sigurdsson, even Allen when he's there, but he's been injured for a while. So I wonder if Everton can exploit that a lot from Southampton. That's to get a very handsome victory. So
was it McTominay on the right that was breaking, Seb? And actually, they got an overload at the centre. They got Rashford, Martial, and they play the ball in.
Fred plays a really good ball into him.
McTominay's ball was awful, and it was easily cleared. But then it drops to the edge of the box, and James, I think, was supposed to play Shaw in, and James just gets the whole ball wrong, and Shaw just stands there with his arms out, like saying, "What the hell are you doing?"
No,
that's what I was trying not to laugh at.
He's caught Shaw flat-footed there. The intention was good, but he kind of ghosted the pass and Shaw couldn't see what was happening there. So yeah, it was just badly anticipated from both.
3 minutes.
There's a really good chance though. Fred plays in McTominay really well. Then McTominay just has to get a ground ball in front of Mendy. I don't know if he's trying to cut it back a bit to make sure that it doesn't go too towards the goalkeeper, but it's a great chance that they've wasted there, United. And obviously you can see the engine that McTominay is in that sort of moment, sprinting out wide and exploiting that space in behind Chelsea. But what's Kante doing? He's stepping up, and then that gives McTominay all the space he could want. This is where Kante does some things wrong. He steps out too quickly, and he just leaves in that space behind him. Does something bother you two like it bothers me that the fourth official has a jacket on, but the yellow stripe isn't lined up?
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
It's not on. I'd be intrigued to know how many long balls Chelsea have attempted today.
I know that. 633.
But is that if we accelerate it to the speed of light?
I can just see the Liverpool starting lineup.
And Adam McNally basically told us that Adrian, Trent, Phillips, Kabak, Robbo, Ginny, Jones, Trent, Mane, Salah, Bobby. So he's got 2 Trents in there. Oh, and I'm watching the Bayern Leverkusen-Freiburg game, and it's 2-0 to Freiburg, which means that Leverkusen look like they might be out of the top 4.
It's the midfield 3 was Wijnaldum, Jones and Thiago. Callagher's got a stomach bug, apparently.
So who's on the bench?
Orzinski, I think that's how you pronounce
Oh my word.
OJ, RZYNSKI. I think that's how you pronounce it, Orzinski. I've never heard it pronounced, so I'm just going for that one.
You do you, Joe. Wow, that's a terrible goal for Leverkusen to concede. Terrible goal.
Don't you do you on camera. That's how people get banned.
No Davis, though. No Davis.
We're responsible. Well, we can maintain our own. It's also the derby of players that look too young to be starting, like James and Mount.
And no Jota on the bench.
What do we think? Do we think which right back do England take to the World Cup?
So Jota's ill, apparently, not Callagher.
If you two had to take 2 right backs to the World Cup for England, which 2 are they? Do you take James? Do you take Trent? Do you take... I don't know, give us another option.
That's a good question.
Marcel just gave the ball away?
Probably James and Trent, yeah. I know Trent's not had the best of seasons for Liverpool, but... And it's full time.
Well...
No, it's not. We still got 1 minute and 10 seconds left. We can totally get 4 in that time.
Yeah, so it is full time.
Ollie's at the wheel.
I don't even know who I'd choose as a man of the match in that.
It's hard to pick one. Let's just say Mount because he's the poster boy.
I don't know. I'm not really over impressed with anyone in that match.
Lindelof's having a right whinge, but I don't know why.
That shot from Maguire at the end it says a lot about Maguire. I don't know. I guess it might have been a solid performance from the defence. From Chelsea's defence. They held their own, but United still had chances.
So Fred had a shot on target then. Saved. I think Mendy's done quite well. He's not been comprehensive in catching, but there's been quite a few times that, if he hadn't have parried things away.
In all fairness, you could say similar to De Gea. De Gea had 6 saves, Mendy had 4. But it's hard to choose in that sort of match because, not excessively, not a lot went on. Probably solid defensively from both teams, despite the others getting some chances. We've lost Darren. We've lost Darren.
No.
I wonder what the technical issue is.
Is he back?
Yeah, I can't choose my match. Okay. Nah. What were your thoughts on the game?
We should have got a penalty. Bruno Fernandes should have got one. That would have probably invited them to attack us more, which would have created more gaps, which would have made a better game. But yeah, I think you said that this would happen before the match, and you were right. 2 teams that probably have been set up not to lose, and that's what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really exciting.
What are your thoughts, Joe, on the game then? What I mean, could United probably had? I think they just didn't build up the game right in the last third to be able to create proper chances, like when you look at that McTominay cross. And then on the other hand, I look back at Werner's shot where Chelsea just don't look like they were gonna score, except for that good save from De Gea. I think a 0-0 is probably fair, but I'd be a bit disappointed.
Sorry, just because it's just happened on my screen. What's your thought about players from the differing teams on a boring 0-0 draw, where the 3 points mattered to both teams, and you just had Chillwell, I think, and Shaw leave the park smiling and having a laugh with each other?
The match is over, so I wouldn't really read too much into it.
But shouldn't you be passionate enough about your performance and where you are in the league that actually the whistle's just gone? You might be still a bit, I don't know. I don't like it. Sorry, I cut across what you thought, Joe, so go right ahead.
That's okay. Yeah, it's a bit of a bizarre one. You've just... Neither side's played that well, and then you're off at the end of the pitch laughing and joking with your opponent. And I suppose I saw some people on social media in the week having a rant about it last week when Liverpool lost the derby and Alisson was leaving the field of play with Pickford and laughing and joking, and Firmino with what's his name, Richarlison and stuff. I just thought, well, I suppose the match is over, but at the same time, I'd be seething if I'd lost a match of that magnitude. I'd be fuming and sulking for a couple of days. But yeah, in terms of today's game, I don't think it was particularly fantastic. Neither side really had a clear-cut opportunity. And like I said, it was a big battle in the midfield, in which neither side won. It's one of those and in the end, really, let's be honest, neither side stuck the neck out and went for it. It just controlled and measured and very defensive. And like you said, Seb said before the game started that they had set up just not to lose, and that's what happened. They played for the 0-0 draw, and that's unfortunate, really, for a neutral perspective, because I wanted to see goals.
Yeah, it was all about maybe the midfield battle, despite none of them really standing out. You look at Kovacic and Kante, who got a bit more of the ball than Fred and McTominay, but they both basically did the same thing. It wasn't a great quality match, and I don't actually think it was that interesting. I was more intrigued by the first half, and the second half just started to get a bit duller and duller. I'm disappointed, but then again, I never hype myself up for Chelsea versus Manchester United. I never find them that amazing. But, I think a point's decent for both of them. They'll be both happy that they didn't lose this game. I think more questions would be raised if they lost than if they drew. Point. Everyone's happy. And United's undefeated away record in the Premier League continues.
Yeah, see, this is what will annoy me is the next time that we're away, it'll be, they're amazing away from home. It's just like,
do you know where they are next away from home? They've got 2 away games coming up in this next week. One against Palace, they should win. Then the derby.
Well, do you think in one of those games I can use this?
Oh yeah, definitely. Let's not forget this fixture last year where United actually won at City. So who knows?
Yeah, well, I think when we play teams like City, well, not necessarily them, but teams that like to attack and have possession and come on us, we tend to do better. But let's hope that we get a full team back fit. Pogba has always been, he's not been a key player for a lot of games, but against the big games, especially against City, he has normally had some sort of impact. So I'd like to see him back available, and Cavani as well would be incredible.
Would you like to see Diallo on the pitch sometime soon?
When we bought him, I thought, we were buying him for our youth team to develop. That's what I thought. So I'm slightly surprised that he's come straight in onto the bench. Now that he's on that bench, obviously Ollie has seen something that he likes. I would like to see him utilised. I mean, there's no reason why for the last we can't throw someone on like that to get an injection of pace. But from starting in our starting lineup, I don't think that he's quite there yet. I think we've got better options.
Ooh, and Jamie's just got in touch saying all about the Bundesliga, lads. I agree. I've just seen Leon Bailey's goal for Leverkusen against Freiburg, and it's 1-2 Leverkusen versus Freiburg. Continuing, what do you think about Diallo, Joe? Have you seen him at all?
Did you not listen?
I did, but I cared for Joe's.
Listen to me?
I care for Joe's opinion.
I've not seen much of him, but what I've seen of him, he looks like a player that's pacey on the wing, can trouble defenders and can get goals. And he scored the near hat trick on his debut for the under-21s, wasn't it, or something?
Yeah, the under-23s. Yeah,
under-23s. Yeah. So,
do you think they can cause City problems then?
No.
Okay.
You would say that though, wouldn't you? You would say that.
It's not very funny, but City's defence is the experience and the ability there. A young lad, just looking at it on paper, is probably not going to cause that many problems to that experience and that. I can't remember what word I was going to use then. Organisation, that's the word. The organised back line, it's not going to cause that many problems. But it's going to be an interesting game next week. Manchester Derby normally guarantees goals unless you look at the one that was in November when it was 0-0.
Yes. So, wrapping up things then. What other comments you got? Anything?
Today's game, a bit disappointing because it's a game that normally guarantees goals, but I think the 0-0 draw benefits Michael personally, Liverpool.
We're starting with Phillips and Kabak in the next game, which is reassuring.
But let's see what happens in the late kickoff. I still think we should be able to beat Sheffield United, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. And the game today, yes, as disappointing as it is, as a neutral, it doesn't affect my side it doesn't affect me too much.
Well, anyway, that means now that United are 12 points behind City, who haven't played the same amount of games. But then it also means that Chelsea couldn't break into the top four this weekend. They might be able to next weekend. We'll see. They're 1 point behind West Ham, who are in fourth place. So that means Chelsea is sat in fifth Europa League spot. And that is basically it. We'll see later on if Liverpool can jump ahead of... Well, no, they can't jump ahead of either. Oh, touche. But anyway, that's the end of our stream, our live watch along. And thank you for everyone participating. Had fun with you along, Darren. We'll have more sweet debates next time if you care to join us again.
I think the next one will be Jaffa cake, biscuit or cake. But let's leave that for the next stream.
We're very welcome to any sort of confectionery whatsoever, but we're gonna try and make it less sketchy next time.
I don't like Jaffa cakes.
We can save that debate for next time. We don't want to get controversial at the end of this one. But anyway, thanks for joining us. Don't forget, like and subscribe as usual. We'll be back as usual whenever, we'll warn you.